Hi there, folks. Starting a new project today, a small one again, and this is much in the same line as the one I did for the Nakamichi CR3A and the Nakamichi LX3 tape decks. I got this new Pioneer, well, not new to me, Pioneer CT-F850 cassette deck. It's a 3-head entry-level cassette deck by Pioneer. Their famous silver series of audio gear. These were, I think, 79, 1980 kind of time frame. You can always find out on the internet. I'm pretty sure that's the dates. Anyway, this one is actually working, and I've tried it out. You know, it's a little noisy in some of the controls and whatnot, but the previous owner indicated that it's never had a belt change, and so it's due. And of course, I got the original owner's manual with it, and I also got a schematic that came with it. And then I went online and went to wjoeradio.com and ordered a belt kit, and it comes with a lot of belts, as you can see, and some nice zip straps and some tires and a tire and some lubricant and all that sort of stuff. So and the beauty of Joe Radio, just like the Nakamichi series of decks that I've done recently and posted on YouTube, they come with these outstanding little service manuals on how to actually do a belt change. Because like the Nakamichis, if you go into the service manual, which I have a digital copy of for the CT-F850, there is actually no procedure for changing out the belts on these things and the tire. So we're going to do that and follow the directions here. There's also a couple of other really good YouTube videos on CT-F850, which I'm going to follow. I'm going to bring up my little tablet here and watch the videos and just go through it and make sure I'm doing everything in sequence as it indicates in the manual and what other people's experiences have shown. So hoping that we'll buy some more life with this thing, and we'll go a step further, and I may not do it at first. I think I'm going to do just the belts first, get everything working with the belts, and get happy with that. And then I bought a complete cap kit. Basically, I went on to Audio Karma, and I think there's a couple of posts there that gives a complete list of capacitors to purchase or to procure from either Mauser or DigiKey. I use Mauser, and actually I use both, depending on which components they have. And I've ordered them all, so at some point I'm going to change out all the electrolytic capacitors in this baby, just to make it as fresh as possible. So we'll do the belt change first, and I may do the capacitor change out, the recap, as a separate video, but we'll see how it goes. We'll follow the instructions here, and we'll do a bit of this on hyperlapse or time lapse, just to make the video a little bit shorter. But like most of my videos like these, they tend to be long, and the intention is to not leave too much out so that people following along can see where I went wrong or went right, and hopefully we'll give you an idea of how to tackle one of these babies. So without further ado, we'll get cracking. At the end, what I'll do is I'll try to do some close-ups. This is an 8-page document on, and with really good diagrams on how to do the belt change, and hopefully we can give you some close-ups of that, so you can do some screen captures and maybe have a copy of the instruction set for yourself. So let's see how this thing turns out, and we'll start proceeding here. Alright, I'm back after a short little time lapse. Turn on some lights here. Hopefully that doesn't make it too bright, and that way I can see better into the deck. And what we'll do is we'll show you each of the, so that's page 1. And the idea here is you can take a screen capture of that, have a look at the procedures that I'm employing. So that's page 1. I'll do it real quick because you can always pause the screen and take your... So that's page 2 of the procedures. Then we've got page 3. Yeah, you can see through it a little bit to the other side. It's printed on 2 sides, that's why. And page 4, nice little diagrams as I indicated. And then page 5, showing some of the greasing points. Shows backwards on my display, but I think it corrects when I actually process the file. Page 6. Again, nice little drawings. Page 7. These are the procedures that I'm going to be doing. And page 8. And that again comes from Joe Radio. I've done numerous decks now with their belt kits, so I highly recommend you go to them. Here are all the belts, and there's quite a few of them. There's 1, 2, 2 big ones, or sort of fatty ones, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 belts. I don't know if I'm going to be using all of those. I heard there might be one extra one, but and then there, of course there's the tire. So there we go. I got the faceplate off, so what we've done is from the procedures, you take the 4 bolts out of the top case, pop those out, 6 screws hold the faceplate on, and then you pull out all the buttons, and then there's this cable here that needs to be buttoned from the main PCB, and then we can set that aside. And then we'll carry on back in time lapse following the procedures that I just showed you in those sheets that I was displaying. So, yeah, let's proceed. Well, that completes the evolution thus far. So I didn't do the recap. Looking at the capacitors, they're actually all in really, really good shape. But what I think I want to do is play it first. So what I did was I did parts of this. The reason was when I pulled out the original belts, or I'm not even sure they were original belts because they were in really good shape. So there's two evolutions that you have to do. I think it was belts 1 through 4, which you disassemble the transport mechanism, and then belts 5 and 6, 6 being the tire, you actually have to do it from the front. So the one YouTube video that I watched actually had the guy disassembling it, doing the other belts from the rear. But I was following the guide, so I got to that part where I went to the forward part, and knowing full well that the belts were in really, really good shape from the other ones, and then I had a look in with the flashlight, and they were thick, they were in really good shape, so I just dabbed them up with a little bit of rubber renew. And the tire looked like it was, well, it was functioning good, so it looked in really good shape. So I treated that with rubber renew as well. So what I did was I changed belts 1 through 4 in this guide, and then when I got to item 6, where you can actually change those other 2 belts from the forward part of the with the actual transport mounted in the chassis, I sort of was thinking of a risk-reward kind of thing. Knowing full well the other belts were all in really good shape, those are the 2 belts with the riskiest outcome, because some of those plastic parts in there, the nylon parts in there, are quite brittle. And rather than tempting fate and disassembling those assemblies, as per the instructions, I've decided to leave it as is, and I'll keep the 2 belts as spares in case they do ever go south. And then that way I feel I'm risking less by actually not breaking something by disassembling. There's some really, really, really small C-clips that you can easily lose, and this is a pretty messy room, so I didn't want to risk that. And what I want to do is just do a sound check on this first. So that'll be next up, is the sound check after the reassembly. And when I put the other belts on, I spun all the pulleys and everything, and the motor assemblies, just to make sure that everything was lined up correctly. Hopefully I've reassembled it properly, and I'm going to plug this into my system upstairs to my matching Pioneer Silverface system, and we'll give it a sound check. And if it sounds good, I'm probably going to leave it as is, and maybe do a recap next summer if I feel it warrants it, if the sound is a little off and whatnot. But if it sounds good, then why not play with it? So that's what I'm going to do from this point on. More to follow. Well, I gotta say I'm tickled pink. So I just got her all hooked up, and she is performing marvelously. I cleaned up all the contacts in here. I had some noisy switches in here, so I hit it with the D5 deoxit, and now they are as silent as can be. Even Chloe is uber impressed. And there you have it. So all the functions are working correctly, and she is sounding really fine. So I'll use the output for volume control, just to show that there's no noise on the pots. And yeah, all the controls are working good. Fast forward, rewind, and really, really, really bops. Yeah, sounding superb. So I don't think I need to do anything more to it yet, quite yet. So we'll do a few test recordings and whatnot. I better stop that so I don't trip off too many copyright claims on YouTube. And yeah, no, I put it through its paces and very, very satisfied with the outcome. So it is now sitting in the spot that this tape deck used to hold, which is another Pioneer tape deck that I fixed up. This one, it had a belt change on it, but when I got it, it had gunched a bunch of tapes and everything, so I cleaned it all out. The person that changed the belts on it previously didn't clean any of the guides or the pulley systems or anything. There was just rubber guts and goop all over the place, and now it's working just fabulous. But it's a 2-head deck, and I wanted a 3-head deck in my system, so that'll be my backup deck in case this one ever needs service down the line, and that way I can keep my system on the go. And very happy with the outcome, and yeah, I may get to doing the recap probably in the summertime. It's just too I don't like working in the house as much as I do like out in my garage, but right now it's too cold. It's around Christmas time, and so we'll probably save that project for when the weather's nicer and I can work outside in my my garage shop. So thank you for watching. I think I'm very satisfied with the outcome of this tape deck. Cheers.